dun, dun, dun. I'm having problems with the Instagram. It didn't earlier. It didn't go up. I don't. I had to take it. Hey, hey, Instagram. It's me, T from the Pattersons, taking the train to Tibet. I had some time off. And I sort of organically take time off sometimes. Anyway, but this is well, in South Africa they call it Boxing Day, but for some other cultures, because different cultures are different, right? And like in the States, for us American Africans, that would be like black people who went through the whole lineage of going from being captive to captive and kidnapped to coming through and being enslaved and then becoming I don't know what do we become Negroes and runaways and I don't know colored and whatever all throughout the thing. Those kind of people, the lineage people. That's what we talk about. Anyway, back to the point. So one of the things about this, things about culture, right? Now, this, like I said, in South Africa, there's a thing called Boxing Day. I know there's a whole tradition comes from England, and don't worry about that. That's somebody else's culture. the Kwanzaa culture, Kwanzaa is a 7-day celebration that happens between basically the 26th Boxing Day to the, I guess it's the 31st, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30th. 31, no, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. 30 days past September, April, June, and November. All of us have 31. Yes, okay, this is 31 days. Look, somehow, the 7 days of Kwanzaa is like, when menorahs is like the candle holders that have basically 7 candles, right? And you have three green candles on one side, three red candles on the other side, and you have the black candle in the middle. That's how Kwanzaa starts. With the symbol for Kwanzaa, right? It was started in the 60s, late 60s, early 70s, whatever, by this guy Ron Karanga, who was basically an FBI operative, former, they had this whole thing in Southern California with the US, and his organization had a shootout with the Black Panthers at the time, and there was this whole thing with the student union and back and forth. It was a mess, right? But it was perpetrated by the same people that perpetrated the death of Malcolm X and the death of a bunch of people in that. It's the 60s, They wanted to kill black revolution or black power in the crib, kill the baby in the crib. So they did a lot of killing of young people and stuff like that. That's not the point. So anyway, this guy Ron Carter, who I have no beef, whatever, but for every kind of thing there might be other things. So he has this thing called Kwanzaa. It's a 7-day celebration, and it's about culture. And a lot of people say it's the culture. You hear a lot of football players and athletes say it's the culture, or rappers, it's the culture. And meanwhile, the culture is whatever you are, whatever you're doing. So if you say the culture is calling people a bunch of names, well, that's the culture for you and you. The point is, if you're going to do it for the culture, then you got to have a culture to do it for. The culture is, again, as Mr. Neil Fuller Jr. would say, the culture is whatever you're doing at the time. That's your culture, right? So anyway, so for the next few days we're going to do that. The first day of Kwanzaa is called Umoja, is unity. It translates to unity. Is it what? Umoja, Umoja. You figure it out. Anyway. So this is a unity, and this is interesting because in Africa they looking for unity because when the colonizers left, they left with a bunch of puppets and a bunch of disunity people that wanted to sow disunity because that's how the colonizer divide and conquer. That's how the colonizer does stuff, And so you have the whole issue of Africa. All 50. How many nations do we have in Africa now? Is it 55? It was 54, 55. Somewhere in the mid-50s, all these nations, they wanted to get together. An organization for African, the OAU, I'm talking about OAU, the African Union, who used to be the OAU, started by, in the 60s by the newly emerging African nations. Anyway, they're trying to get it all together, right? But who do they follow? Do they keep on following the colonizers' agents, and you can tell the kind of agent because they always divide and conquer. So anytime you're in a situation where they're trying to divide something, that's an agent of colonizers. Anyway, back to the point. Let me get my glasses here. So we have the situation where Africa is looking for unity. Then of course all through America, every time you look on the black people side, well, no, we got to get together. We got to have unity, right? Well, this is your day to everybody that says they want a unity. You can sit down and start plotting your unity. And then for the next 6 other days of Kwanzaa, you do those kind of things. Like tomorrow, I think is one of my favorite, because I can say the word Kuzi Chakalia. Don't worry about it. We'll get to all that stuff later. Anyway, so all I'm saying is that if you want it, you got to do it. That has to become part of your culture. And there's all kinds of things with the culture. Sometimes we call it, well, the culture is one thing. The code is a whole other thing, so we'll talk about that. So anyway, so that's it. I just had to do this real quick because my original, Instagram didn't go through. Let's see if this one goes through. Okay, so it's unity. We're looking for unity both on the continent and in the Americas, because you got to include all the diasporic, the Brazilians who have the most black people outside of whatever, and then all of Colombia, all kinds of things, all down South America, Central America, Belize, all the looking for unity, right? But you got to plot for it, and you got to know what it's for, who you're unifying with, what's everybody's agenda. So you got a lot of work to do this first day of Kwanzaa and promoting unity. But just think about it: if the lineage, because the lineage American Africans in the States, we're the ones that are continually battling the descent. We're continually battling white supremacy, racism, whatever you want to call it, right? And you can prove it really simple, because the people that come in who are not a lineage, right? They always want to talk about things that are dividing. So we want to unify. That's the whole point. So anyway, so that's what you want to do. If we get the Africa to unify, diaspora to unify, then that's a force to be reckoned with. Unifying with each other, unifying for the culture. All right. Talk to you later. Be well.